Hey everyone, it's Caitlin and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you guys 2 easy vegan recipes that would be perfect for a vegan brunch. We're going sweet with some vegan French toast, and we're also going to go a little savory with a vegan quiche. I've recently posted both of these recipes on my blog, so the full recipes will be linked down below, but I wanted to make this video to let you guys know that you can still have a delicious and easy vegan brunch at home and you don't have to go out to a restaurant and spend a bunch of money. And even if you don't have any vegan restaurants near you, you can still have brunch with your friends or family at home. So let's get into the recipes. First, I'm going to show you guys how to make a vegan quiche. This recipe is also gluten-free and soy-free, which is not common with a lot of vegan quiches. So for our filling, we're actually going to be using a combination of chickpea flour, nutritional yeast, turmeric for color, a little bit of baking powder, and some salt. Then you're just going to whisk this together, and this is pretty much the base filling. All you're going to do now is add in some plant-based milk and then stir that until it is thickened and evenly incorporated. Now you can do whatever the heck you want to with this quiche, but I decided to add in some caramelized onions, tomatoes, and some dill to mine, and this combination is so freaking good, guys. So I mean, I would suggest you try it. So I'm adding in the dill and the caramelized onions now, and then I'm just stirring that together. But I'm adding in the whole tomatoes later just because I'm doing slices of those. So you can use any pre-made pie crust that you want for this recipe. I'm using my easy 3-ingredient pie crust recipe. I showed you guys how to make this in my blueberry pie, but I will have the full recipe linked below in case you missed that video. So we're going to layer our tomatoes in 2 steps. So first I put 3 slices down on the bottom, and then I poured the quiche mixture into the pie pan and then spread that around evenly with a spatula just to make sure it was flat. And then I put the rest of the tomato slices on top. And I liked doing it on the bottom and the top because I thought it was more evenly incorporated throughout the whole dish. Then I just topped it with some fresh dill, and you're just going to pop this in the oven. But you do want to coat the sides with some tin foil, otherwise it will burn. So then afterwards, your quiche will look a little bit something like this. It is nice and firm, but still has a little bit of a wiggle to it. So once it cools a little, you can cut yourself a slice and dig in. You can serve this with a side salad maybe. I feel like that's how quiche is typically served, but I just wanted to show you guys the texture right here. Even though a small piece fell off of my fork, it still looks pretty good. And also this pie crust is so freaking good and can also be a quiche crust. So that is it for the first recipe, and now I'm going to show you guys how to make some French toast because let's be honest, who doesn't love a good French toast? This recipe is really simple as well. So first we're going to make our French toast batter by adding some soaked cashews to a blender along with a tiny bit of nutritional yeast, and this doesn't make it taste like nutritional yeast, guys. It just kind of makes it taste more tangy like dairy. You gotta trust me on this. And then again, we're going to be using chickpea or garbanzo bean flour in this recipe. A lot of people use a chia egg or a flax egg, but personally I just think this sticks to the outside of the bread and doesn't really thicken the batter any, so I like using the garbanzo bean flour, and also it has more protein like an egg, so I think it helps to give it more of a realistic consistency. Then we're also going to add some water, some vanilla extract, a pinch of cinnamon, this is optional but recommended, and then a touch of maple syrup and salt. Then you're just going to blend this all together, and the soaked cashews really help to make this liquid thick and creamy. Usually when you make French toast, you're using eggs, which have fat in them, and milk, which has fat in them. So this really just helps the batter to be a lot more realistic than just using like almond milk, for example. But when you're making French toast, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to add whatever bread you would like into the batter and then let it sit for a few seconds, then flip it, and then take the bread out, and you can just let it drip over the pan for a few seconds to get off any excess liquid. Then you're going to put this into a nonstick pan, and I cooked mine over a medium-low heat for about 5 minutes, and then here I'm just sliding the spatula under all of the edges to loosen them up, and then you're just going to flip it again and cook it for another 5 minutes. If you want to use vegan butter or oil to crisp up the sides even more, you totally can, but I just wanted to show you guys it is possible to do it without it. So afterwards, you can just remove it from the pan and then repeat this with the rest of the slices until you run out of batter. And then you can serve your French toast however you want. I like to top mine with fresh fruit and some maple syrup. I feel like that's pretty classic, but either way, yeah, top it with whatever you'd like. But Well, I was gonna say make sure you enjoy it, but the recipe is really freaking good, so I know you're going to enjoy it. Hee hee. Alright guys, that is it for this video, but I actually have a question for you guys. I want to know if when you go out to eat, you typically order sweet food or savory food for brunch, or does it just depend on what the menu has? I think it's really funny because when I eat breakfast at home on a day-to-day basis, I usually go for sweet, but when I go out to eat for some reason, I usually pick a savory brunch. However, I will admit that this French toast was so good, so if that was at a restaurant, I would probably pick that. If you are new to my channel and you like what you see here, feel free to hit that little like button right down there and subscribe down below. I post 2 new videos every single week involving vegan recipes, vlogs, things of that sort. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can go ahead and join in all the awesome people who already watch my videos. And I think that is it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye!